Hello and welcome to another edition of our IUX webinar, and we're delighted to have you all with us today. And today we're talking about the scope of freelancing in Pakistan. Now, the average earning of a freelancer in Pakistan who works up to 34 hours per week is around 52,000 Pakistani rupees. And Pakistan is earning about $500 million entirely from freelancing, and is now ranked the fourth most popular country for freelancing. According to a report by San Francisco-based organization Deel, the salary of Pakistan freelancers is one of the fastest growing in the world. And that report said that COVID-19 pandemic and advances in communication technology has helped galvanize the freelance market and created opportunities for people in developing countries, including and especially Pakistan. We are the third largest freelancing community in the world at the moment. A survey conducted in 2019 by Pioneer showed that Pakistani female freelancers were earning $24 an hour. That's 10% more than the $22 an hour earned by men. And the earning of Pakistani male freelancers is on par with the global average. So the question is sitting at your home in your PJs and working the way you like without having to follow the office 9-to-5 grind protocol, is that the dream? And you get paid for it too? Well, we will ask our panel today, all of whom in their own ways have started freelancing and are up-and-coming freelancers in Pakistan. We will talk to them about the pros as well as the cons of freelancing. So without further ado, let me introduce you to our panelists. First up, we have Zara Fahad, who is an MBA HR graduate by degree, a stay-at-home mum by choice, and a digital freelancer by passion. Sarah has had the opportunity to work with several local and international clients from diversified industries. Her expertise is in content writing, Instagram marketing, and strategy, as well as social media copy and design for small businesses. So it's with great pleasure and without further ado to welcome Zara. Hello, Zara. How are you?
Hey, George. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. Thank you for and welcome to Exploring with IUX, Express, Explain, and Excite. And we are talking freelancing today. Let's move quickly on to Hamara Agle Mehman, who is Hurain Azza. And Hurain is currently working as a graphic designer at Magnus Communications. But other than that, she's been working in the design field for the past 5 years, mainly working as a freelancer up until now, as well as with a full-time job on the side. She is an aspiring entrepreneur too, and has a startup called The Facilitators, where she takes designing orders and conducts online courses in graphic designing. Perhaps we should recruit her here at IUX. But anyway, welcome, Hurain Azza.
Thank you, George.
Now,
how are you?
I'm very well. Now, we have a third guest who is not with us as far as I can see. Khurram, he is missing. This is obviously the joys of technology. Sometimes people drop off accidentally. He was here, but we've lost him. But I will perhaps introduce him when he gets back online. But in the meantime, let's kick off. As I say, the topic today is going to be the scope of freelancing in Pakistan. And I suppose really my first question to you is, how did you guys all get into freelancing? Hurain,
Okay.
how did you
So
get?
I was always working as in administration, documents and everything like that. I never knew I had any spot like in my whole life that I can be creative. But when I started exploring my options in Pakistan and how things are here and the life of freelancers, 5 years back, it was not so. Um, what do we call it was not so much normal, we can say, in Pakistan, but now it's great, it's increasing rapidly. So I started practicing, I started exploring and looking at people who do design. I started it from my facilitators. I started making my card designs, my badges. I used to do all the printing and stuff. So I used to design for that, and from that I have come long way till here.
And how did you build up your market? How did you get your name out there?
So I started from the local, very local market on Facebook groups. Till now, that's one big part of my freelancing career, that I started from there, and I love giving back to the Pakistani society itself, so that all the small business owners, all the business owners who want to get their services done but are not willing to take the risk of giving it to someone who they cannot meet or communicate with easily. So I take that gap and I am that person. Then you can contact, you can meet, we can talk, and then we can create magic.
Great. Zara, what about you? How did you get into freelancing?
Okay, I landed into freelancing totally very spontaneously because I didn't even know what freelancing is about. It dates back to like around 10 years back when I got freshly graduated from my MBA. And I was just sitting at home, and I didn't have a job at that time, and I wasn't actually looking for a conventional job. So I came across this Facebook post where it said that you can earn online by writing, and writing is something that has I have been passionate about since like primary grade. So I thought of exploring the opportunity, and that's how I got into freelancing basically. And I started earning through writing. Content writing was my first domain.
So up till here, was it sort of the flexibility for you that was attractive? The fact that you said in the introduction, I said you were a stay-at-home mum by choice, and did it mean that you could do it whilst raising 3 kids and doing all the necessary chores that involves? Was that the
Yeah.
attractiveness?
Yeah, actually, I have been freelancing before getting married, and the purpose that I got into freelancing without even knowing what freelancing actually is was because um, my father was not of the idea that I can go out and do a job because Karachi ke halat aise nahi hai, and abhi bhi nahi hai, I guess. So to be on the safe side, I was exploring options, and I just came across this very spontaneously, the writing opportunity, and I left it in between when I got married, but I restarted again when I had kids because I used freelancing to get over my postpartum depression actually, and it has not stopped since then.
Oh, that's fascinating. So, was it the fact that it was giving you a space that wasn't to do with nappies and changing
Yeah,
and things? It was giving you that sort
exactly.
of you were in using your intellect rather than
Yes.
yeah. Interesting. So what I would like to ask is sort of what are the pros? I mean, we've touched upon some of the pros already, the flexibility nature. What are the other pros of freelancing, in your opinions? Feel free to jump in. I'm opening this up to either of you.
I think, according to me, the freedom is one of the very important bits. अगर आप सुकून से बैठ के काम कर सकते हैं in your house anytime that you want, that's the best thing anyone can want. Why go out of the house? Why get stuck in the traffic? And that 2 hours of your life where you are stuck in the traffic can be very important. It's very crucial, and with Karachi traffic, it's worst. So then freelancing is your one go-to place. And also the gap that we have, the job opportunities are very less in Pakistan now for a lot of people who are just graduating. Maybe we can find a lot of jobs in marketing. For engineers, there are very less jobs. For chemical fields, there are very less jobs. They have a skill. They can go into designing. They do their freelancing at home, do consultancies. So I think that's one best bit about freelancing is that you can be creative on your own way with your own skill at any time, anywhere.
I'd also
Or
like
up,
to
can
add
you, Zara?
another benefit. Yeah, I'd also like to add the best thing that I have found is that you can choose your own clients. You can choose the clients that you want to work with instead of being the other way around that the client is choosing if they want to work with you. So it's a two-way traffic. That if you want to work, if you feel that the client and you have a mental match, and you can offer your services in your best capabilities, then that's a great idea. Instead of like sticking with one client, you can work with multiple clients.
Have you, right. So have you rejected a client ever? Have you said, no, I don't want to work with you?
Yes, actually, I have.
I think
Bolo,
anyone who
go on,
does
go
freelance,
on.
Actually, it
No, I want to hear the story.
I basically feel that the main reason that I reject a client or say no to work is when I see that the client is not on my, we don't have the same bandwidth. Like, उनकी expectations मुझसे कुछ हैं, and their way of communication is not a way that I would like to deal with a person. So I do not go for that. And there have been times that I am working with the client and they are assigning more stuff than they are paying. So first I go for like ask them for a pay raise, but when they like they say no, we can only offer you this right now. So I feel that I know my worth now that I can say no to their work and find better options.
Yeah. What about you, Horain? Have you fired a client?
I am, as a person, I don't say no to anyone. So even if it's work, even if it's anything in life, I don't say no. So there has to be some special place for you when I say no to it. So there was a client some time back, and my the point where I lose my trust on you or when I don't want to work with you is जब आपने जो कोई बात commit की and you're not agreeing to it and you're not focusing on it, rather than ना ही आप पैसे पे करते हैं in the market because हम local designers हैं, or maybe we are in the Pakistani market where you think you can run away with anything. So don't push anyone to that extent where they think that I don't want to work with that person. So now I have banned that person from my list of working as clients, even though she did want a lot of stuff done. But running away, ghosting a person who's working a lot in a creative field, the design process takes a lot of time. Creative thinking, developing the designs, and then providing you with it with the time um, stream that you have given. So then that's my breaking point.
We sort of started off this section talking about the pros. Are there any other pros of freelancing? Flexibility we've mentioned, the empowerment element that you can choose your work when you want it, do it.
I would like to put in my 2 cents over here in terms of
Are there any
more
other pros that you feel? Yes, Zara?
Yeah, I was saying that one more advantage is that I feel that the jobs that you get as a freelancer, like in the international market, you get paid for them much more than the same jobs that you find in the Pakistani market. So that means कि freelancers जो बाहर के clients के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, they get paid much more for their efforts. और वही काम आप यहाँ अगर देखें for the same job, for example, graphic designers यहाँ पे बहुत exploit होते हैं. Not even graphic designers, even content writers. बहुत minimal आपको they'll be paying peanuts. They'll be paying peanuts for a task that you can earn hundreds in dollars if you are working with international clients. So that I think is a very big advantage for freelancers कि आपकी skills को actually वो worth पता चलती है international clients के साथ work करते हैं.
Also,
अच्छा.
I think
Well,
different clients के साथ आप काम कर सकते हैं. You get experience of all around the world, of all kind of people. So you're not working with one boss who can be toxic and can be good at both the times whenever they want. So you have different clients you can choose from, as Zara said, and then you get experience from all type of people. So you have that communication skill added to your list of skills that now you know how to deal with different kind of people.
yeah, absolutely. You get a wider range of people that you're
Exactly.
dealing with. I'm just bringing in a question here relating back to Zara's point about pay. What she's saying, what about pay rates? Are they different from local and international clients? And from what
Yes.
you suggested, Zara, was that they are different. But tell me, and they are significantly different. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you get paid internationally? How are you physically paid?
So, in for example, if you're working through Fiverr and Upwork, or maybe a lot of other freelancer, there are a lot of other places where we work as a freelancer. So the point in the problem in Pakistan is that we don't have the direct payment options. For example, PayPal is not there. Pioneer used to be one of the options. Now they've banned that too. So this is one thing that we face as Pakistani freelancers, that we don't have a direct way to get our payments done. And when it comes to the pricing, at times we are not educated so much that how to price our skill. How much should I get when I'm designing a brochure, and how much do I get when I'm designing just a Instagram post? So that takes time, and with experience, and then according to your skill, you can have a price on your skill or
And
the design
I
that you
also
do.
like to
But
add
but Horain, you haven't
because
answered
of
my
the same
question.
reason.
How do you actually?
Okay.
Get
I'm
paid.
Sorry,
sorry.
sorry.
I'll get, yeah.
Go. Yeah, go on, Zara.
Sorry, I was just adding to Huren's point that because we don't know, like new freelancers in Pakistan don't actually know what to charge for the skill. So this is why they get exploited by the local brands that like they exploit you in terms of ke Phanana, person is going to do it for the same work for us for this much, and you are
Yeah.
charging this much. So we get exploited because we want the work, but we don't know what to charge.
Mm. But I was just sort of trying to get out of Horain. How do you actually physically get paid? If I'm sitting in the UK and I want Horain's wonderful graphic design work, and I said, "Thank you, Horain. This brochure you've designed for me is wonderful. Now, how do I pay you my pounds or my dollars or whatever to Horain? How do I do that?"
So basically, at times we have most of the freelancers have PayPal accounts in Dubai or anywhere wherever it's feasible for them, where they can have the money stored, and then whenever they need it, they can use it directly, transfer it to their bank accounts, and then they can use it. They
Oops,
have a
we've
certain
lost
fees
you a
to
little
pay.
bit, Haroon. I think just to finish your point is that you were going to say that we could, you'd have, hey, are you back?
We have PayPal here, and we have Payoneer, and even bank transfer. Some clients even transfer the payment directly through your bank into your bank account, and then
Yeah.
there's Western Union, and there are several other payment methods that you can use. But the most common one here is Payoneer and TransferWise.
Yes.
Okay. So transfer wires and Payoneer, that's like PayPal, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
Great. Okay, let's go back to what are the challenges apart from getting your payment? Well, we've talked about the pros. What are some of the challenges of that you think Pakistanis face freelancing?
I think the biggest challenge is for them to find clients actually, because not everyone is comfortable with making a Fiverr and Upwork profile, because they are quite complicated. I'm talking about myself because I don't have a Fiverr or Upwork profile. I usually find my clients through Facebook groups and LinkedIn. So that is the biggest channel, that where to find the clients, how to find the clients. People. I feel that Pakistani.
Why is it complicated?
Because there you have to make a certain kind of proposal. Your communication skills have to be excellent if you want to ace on Upwork, because you have to make an excellent proposal, and then on Fiverr you have to design different gigs which you have to rank. So it gets quite complicated for for a person who is just beginning and who just wants to step into freelancing.
Mm-hmm. I would just add it up.
Yeah.
That there is a language barrier as well. So when we're working in different markets, we have to communicate in a way how they understand. At times, अगर मैं किसी पाकिस्तानी client से बात कर रही हूँ, तो उनका तरीका हमें पता है because we're living in that market. But when I'm talking to a US client, they have a certain way to the point. Like you just tell me, आपको क्या करना है, मुझे क्या चाहिए, that's it. And then you start with the work. So they know at times that what they want, and that's why I think it's a little easy, but also a problem, because they have communicated something and we understand something, and then we start working on it. Time zones, if the client is sitting in US, and I'm sitting here, so my day and night, the hours are too different. So when they're active,
that brings me to my next question: is have you experienced this? Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, sorry, I think we've lost Hunain a bit. Hunain, sorry, we've lost you. If you could just try and move on to a different network if you can.
Okay.
Oh, no, you're back now. Sorry. But yeah, it brings me to my next point, which is, have you experienced any culture clash? कोई लोग थोड़ा सा different है, थोड़ा सा बदतमीज है, are there any problems like culturally that you perhaps don't understand what they mean, or they don't understand what you mean? Is there any, because it's not about the language necessarily, it's more about cultural differences.
I haven't had such a problem up to date. Am I audible?
Hello?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, okay. So in when we are handling someone's social media, for example, and we are designing their post, and we have calendars and we have their concepts. So the one thing that comes across is that they are competing with the several people in the same market. For example, if I'm a food brand, मैं उसी से बैरियर होता है दैट हम पाकिस्तान में बैठ के उस चीज को इतना ज्यादा रियलाइज नहीं कर पाएंगे कि वो क्या चाह रहे हैं, बिकॉज द स्ट्रैटेजीज कैन बी डिफरेंट.
Right. Okay, sorry, we're losing you a little bit. I think we've got Kurum now. Hello, Kurum.
Hello there, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
So, Kurum, I'm sorry we didn't get to really properly introduce you, but Kurum, to everyone who's just joining, he's done an MPhil in Applied Linguistics, and he's currently teaching in a private college. But he's been a freelancer for about 6 years now, and is a freelance content writer, both for foreign and local nationals. So welcome, Kurum. And we were just talking about culture clash here. Whether have you experienced any sort of culture clash that has gone on where you're speaking the same language, but you're not necessarily connecting in terms of what is expected from the client and what they're expecting from you?
Yeah, I think so. Personally, I did not, face any problem like that because of, you can say, my proficiency in the language. But yeah, there are certain other things. For example, we were observing Ramadan here in Pakistan. 'Cause most of us, we observe it. So the deadlines, my foreign clients were very helpful with me in that regard. So I would tell them that it's going to be very hard for me, if I'm going to fast and write and do other stuff as well. So they would accommodate with me in that regard. So yeah, I've actually seen positive stuff, and personally, I did not really feel any, culture clash because of the difference in language. But that's just a personal thing. However, there are certain cases where there are a lot of issues कि जहाँ पे लोगों को they do not really get the main gist behind
We
what
are
the
having
client is
problems
asking.
today with our. Well, actually, this is a legitimate thing. We're having
Yeah,
problems with our, well, with our Wi-Fi, with our technology, and I wonder if that is something that is a challenge. Freelancing, when you've got to hit the deadlines, and the Bijli goes out, or there's a strike is being called, or there's no water or whatever, or there's internet is having a problem. These are real problems that we in Pakistan face on a
Nice.
regular basis. And I just wonder if that has an impact on the deliverables for you to deliver to your clients, especially abroad. Anyone?
This is actually a big challenge, but the only way that I have figured it out around this is to request a deadline that is a bit ahead of the time that I can deliver. तो ऐसा टाइम रखें कि आप उससे पहले डिलीवर कर सकें, irrespective of the fact कि अगर बिजली जाए या whatever circumstances unseen, तो आप उससे पहले अपना काम कर चुके हो. So this is the only way but yes, the electricity and the Wi-Fi connection is a big issue. That is.
Yeah.
For myself,
What?
I ask my client what is the exact date that you want the thing in, क्योंकि हमारे पाकिस्तान के कल्चर में अगर आज काम चाहिए तो हम एक हफ्ता पहले की डेट बताएंगे, so that हमें एक हफ्ते पहले काम मिल जाए. So I ask them what is the exact time that you want your design on, so I can give them 1 week before, because I will be prepared accordingly.
Yeah. Great. So do you start? Upskill. Upwork. Yeah.
yeah. It's just like a question to the Pakistani spectators that would you prefer Babar Azam or Fawad Alam? And 95% would say Babar Azam. So yeah, local clients out here in Pakistan are not the right deal, man. I'm sorry to say, but especially in my writing niche, I think the rates are very low locally. Most of the times they're like around the corners of 1 rupees per word, and that's not very high, to be honest. It's not exploitation, but
What
it's very close to it.
And what are you getting paid as on Fiverr or Upwork?
So from these Gora clients, I somehow charge around like 5 to 6 rupees per words, and it's it helps a lot. And considering that freelancing is basically my secondary or passive income, as to say, so yeah, I can actually outsource that work for around 2 rupees, 3 rupees per word, and still end up saving a lot of money. So and then that's it's all about that. Locally, you cannot do that. The maximum they're going to pay you is like 1.5 if you are like a brilliant writer, and that's just about it. So yeah, always a foreign client, man, always.
But like I for me, I work for both the markets. So when I think for Pakistan, I would say that I will earn from the foreign clients when I know I can. But from the local ones, if they need help with, for example, small businesses, they cannot afford the amount of the prices that are on Fiverr. So I try to give them the benefit of doubt that I will just do it for you, and then you can return it back to me as a part that you will enhance your business even more, because I'm giving you my designing services and then I'm taking a very like peanuts, as Zara said, amount, and then that's very how our local market works. But there are several big clients in the market that you can be in their clientele, and then they will be one of those professional ones that you can go anytime, and then you have to make your um, what do we say कि आप उनके favorite बन जाएं and then आपके पास ही आएंगे वो वापस. So that you have to do in our Pakistani market at least.
Great. Zara, what are your thoughts? Local or third party?
I would suggest that I would prefer international clients. I still prefer international clients. I go for local clients only when I have the spare time in hand. But to new freelancers who are aspiring to be freelancers, I would suggest that yes, start off with local clients, because right now you're looking to build your portfolio. तो आपको अगर local client भी मिल रहा है तो वो आप उसे ले लें, even if they are paying you very less for it. But to build your portfolio, you need something that you can show to your international clients or better paying clients. So it's like you have to provide.
And it's better to make the mistakes first locally
In your local market.
and learn from them before you go out in the international market. Yeah.
So these are some of the points that you have to do before entering any foreign market, that you have to polish your skills before entering another market where you can be questioned.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, we've talked about Fiverr and Upwork. What are these sort of freelancing portals looking for exactly in terms of talent from Pakistan? Do they need you to have certifications or qualifications? Do they help? And I'm sort of talking at this from with my IUX hat on, because obviously IUX offers certifications and qualifications and upskills people, graduates, and people after they've graduated. So are those sort of things that will help people go out and get, especially in the tech industries, programmers and developers, will those qualifications help them get work on these portals?
It's a plus, I think. It's a plus point if you have your certification, but the point is that in those platforms the competition is so much that, and they don't have a criteria, anyone can enter. So you can be there, but you have a certain skill which you are good at it, then great. If you're not good at it, you can still be there and start working. So that's the point. And you get bad reviews, that's another point, but you don't need certain certifications to enter all these portals.
But I think having a certification is like a plus point, that it will set you apart from those who do not have a certification. So yes, it's a plus point. If you are certified in a certain skill, it's definitely a plus point.
Great. And do you know what the most sort of in-demand areas for freelancers are in Pakistan on these portals?
Designing 100%.
Graphic design, really?
I'd say I'd say writing.
It's all over the world.
Writing is the.
You're just saying your own. She's saying graphic design because she's a graphic designer. You're saying writing because if we had a.
I think content writing and copywriting, isn't necessarily all skills. Even graphic designers need a good copy.
If we had a Java developer on, he'd say Java developing.
But I think all three of us, the skills that all three of us have a very big scope.
Let's go back to
given the era of social media.
Let's get back to our questions from
connecting that with certifications,
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Jaisha Sheikh saying, can I manage freelancing around my work and home commitments?
You can manage everything, I think, with freelancing. I work a full-time job and I'm still freelancing with the home
So
commitments as well.
how does that work? So you work your job. What time do you finish your job?
So currently I'm doing my bachelor's as well. So yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot on my plate. So I do classes in the morning. Whenever I have my classes, I go there. I come back to work, finish my work hours and the commitments that I have here, the deadlines and everything. And then whenever I go home, so first priority is my job. So whatever deadlines I have still pending, I will finish those. And then after that, I'll start freelancing to whoever clients I have committed to. I take the pressure on myself as much as I can handle.
super. So, so presumably, when exams come around, you have to do fewer freelancing jobs
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
have to do your revision and yeah.
Then
Okay.
I have to do all-nighters and
Oh God, to have the energy of youth, I long to be your age again.
thank you.
Okay, Raheel has said, how do you tackle? Oh, we've discussed this. How do you tackle the banking situation in Pakistan? Is it easy to get paid in our local banks, or should I use platforms like Payoneer? I think we've sort of answered that. But is it problematic? Do you get like questions from
Thanks.
well, from the banks as to where's this money coming from? But also, I was
It's
going to
worse.
say,
It's worse. It's so bad.
yeah.
So like in our
It's the worst
culture,
possible experience, man. Worst possible experience.
yeah. So
They
banking
don't let
sectors
you
don't
even
understand
open an
the
account.
They don't let you open an account.
yeah. So they do
No,
not consider your
just because you're
freelancing
a
income
freelancer, you
as
can do
an
that.
income. Yeah.
So they won't.
So you
So
have
they
to
won't let you
show.
open an account.
Yeah, so they want a contract with it. So if you are working for as a freelancer, that's nothing in our Pakistani industry or work industry. So you need a certification, a offer letter, or a contract that you're working somewhere to open an account. Otherwise, you open a student account where you have to give your student ID, and then that has a limit to everything. It doesn't work internationally.
Right. But are there any
Yeah, and what we do
tax
then?
implications? So, for example, do you get to pay a lesser tax rate on
No.
your income? Okay.
I don't
Right.
think so. We are taxed.
Well, you should be taxed, I'm afraid.
No, man. I'm sorry.
This is going out. This is going out live.
Let's
I'm
cut the
sure
session
that-
here if you want us to get taxed, man.
Yeah, I'm sure that the tax authorities are making a note of your name right now, Kuram. So expect a knock on the door soon. Maheen Anwar has written, "Can the job become permanent?" I think. Yeah. So have you ever been sort of done a really good job for a client and they said, "Look, we'd like to hire you full time." Has anyone ever been approached like that?
Yeah, I
I
have.
think constantly freelancing is change, I guess. Then what's the point of freelancing if you want something to be permanent? That's my question. Like, if you want it to be
No, but-
permanent,
That's a
then
good point.
No, but if you were hired,
It can be a
full-time at a
long-term
good
contract, I
rate
think, but I don't
abroad.
think so. Anything
it
is
would be
permanent.
better.
You can
Yeah.
get into a long-term contract.
Permanent, yeah.
Okay, I think we've answered that. Client management, amount, work and home commitments, and I think we've answered this as well. I'm thinking of doing freelance to help finance my studies. Will it help if I get a certifications in my field in order to boost my earning potential?
Yeah, totally. The more certificates, the more courses that you do is your addition in your degree, within your skill. So that's a great benefit.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Plus,
And
I usually say one thing, that we in Pakistan invest around 60 in education and still we are jobless. Like 20 to 30% of our graduates are jobless, and they have spent like money on 16 years of their education, and they're not willing to spend like 3 to 4 thousand on a course. So just go for it, man. Just invest it, like you have done in your 16 years of education or 18 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe freelancers should continuously be
And
upskilling.
that
For example, I
Yeah.
started with content
Yep.
writing, but then now I have diversified because I'm continuously upskilling.
And then you roll in the money that you're getting from freelancing. You
Right.
use your first income or second income and get a course done, get a certificate. That will add up to your skill, and you will get more money than you're getting before that.
That's great.
Right.
That's
Agreed.
very, very true. Rida has written, being a beginner freelance writer, which freelance platform should I prefer to offer my writing services on, I think. So is there any particular platform that's better?
I think for beginners, Upwork is too much complicated and it has a lot more of a competition. Fiverr is very interesting. You might be the worst ever writer, but if you somehow, find that elog or find that gig, you might be a rock star next year. So yeah, Fiverr is something very interesting and enigmatic to say. So I should say Rida should actually start with LinkedIn and Facebook first of all. She should connect with
Yeah.
the local clients first, build a portfolio sort of things, follow YouTube channels. There are a lot of guys who are working very good in Pakistan. They're making YouTube videos and stuff. So she should gain a bit more knowledge, work with a lot of local clients, like 10 to 15 local clients, and yeah, then she can move to Fiverr. I would ask her. And secondly, I would also ask her, never work for anything below ₹1 per word. Never do that. It's simply exploitation. And one more thing, there's a thing, man, in Pakistan regarding the beginner freelance writers. They say you have to give us around 5,000 rupees and then we'll give you some work. Never ever do that. That's a scam. That's one of the most common scams that happens in Pakistan. So avoid that, man.
Avoid that. Okay, great. Well, thank you for warning us on that.
Yeah.
Maheen has written, how do I get my first client as a freelancer?
Depending on your skill, whatever you do, and then you just go in the groups. As I said, I started with a lot of Facebook groups. So for example, for women, there are a lot of women-centric groups where a lot of people start their careers from there. You get the certifications, you try learning a skill, and then you start working on it. Start building your portfolio first, rather than
And
thinking of earning.
in addition to the groups, I also think that you can ask in your friends and family circle, like if you know that someone has a business, a small startup, you can always offer them your
Exactly.
services, be it graphic designing, be it social media management, anything. You start from within your own circle.
Yeah.
And grow outwards. Yeah, that makes sense. What is the most important thing to consider as a freelancer? This is coming from within our own organization by the looks of it. What would you recommend?
I think not to overburden yourself, not to not let those work commitments be so toxic for you. I'm saying a very harsh word, toxic, but it gets. So when we're freelancing, we at times get so excited and take a lot of commitments that we cannot do and finish those on time. So that time you are in your worst when you're trying to complete everything. You don't give your best. I would say start small, but do your best. So if you're having one client, do the best that you can, and that client will get you more clients. So I think that's one important thing to consider. Don't let anything affect your mental peace. Being at
Yeah,
home
you're
and
not in
working is a very
competition with
tough thing.
anyone except yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Sorry, yeah, carry on, Zara. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that I was just continuing what Huren is saying, that you are not in a race with anyone as to compete, like by taking up more projects. So you just have to be mindful of what you are taking up and how much you can manage. Like you are not impressing anyone by taking more projects. You're just burning out yourself if you're taking more than what's already on your plate.
Great. Well, I think that's all we sort of have time for. Just one last question for Horain. What do you prefer, 9 to 5 or freelancing?
So freelancing is a passive income. So we cannot have it said that I can earn 365 days when I'm freelancing. So you have to prioritize your things in life, your expenses, your finances, your opportunities, the time that you have. So I would say that the best combination right now, as I said, I have a lot of things on my plate, and I love doing all those together. So for me, I cannot sit at home and work because I'll get bored after some time. So I would say have some experience from your 9 to 5 and then start freelancing, and with it start freelancing with it, so you have a certain income coming in all like every month. And then with freelancing, once you excel in it, leave your 9 to 5 and start freelancing full time.
Great. Khurram, any last words?
Yeah, it was a great session. First of all, I am very sorry for the delay that was caused because of me, and that was so typical. And it was actually, and anyways, it was a great session, and I really think that freelancing is actually the future in Pakistan, as the dollar is for earning dollars, and you're gonna enjoy your life.
Yeah, earn in dollars and pay in rupees. That's the
And
dream.
we're
That's
at a
the real
boom in
deal, man.
Pakistan. The freelancing career is booming in Pakistan. Right now, we are 0.5 billion of Pakistan income and contributing that much. So just think about like coming 5 years. I think freelancing will be one of the full-time things that everyone will start doing. So that's
And with
the
the
best
fourth,
part.
and with the fourth largest freelancers in the world at the moment, after
Yeah, exactly.
India,
So we
Indonesia.
should have a lot of perks as freelancers, easy payment systems, easy a lot of things. So then we can start working better.
Well, let's hope.
Well,
Let's hope
let's
the government is
stay at
listening.
the side.
And
The government
finally,
is listening to us.
finally, Zara, any last words?
Yeah, I would like to thank you for the opportunity for this very insightful session. And also, I would like to give a message to all those people who are aspiring to become freelancers but don't know where to start with. So start within yourself, discover where your passion lies, what your skills are. Because हम यही देखते हैं कि people don't know, they want to freelance but they don't know how to freelance. So pick up a skill, any skill, and build up on that.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think that's some very sound words of advice to end our session on. Thank you. And all that's left is for me to thank Hamara Mehman Aj, which is Zara Fahad. Thank you very much. Khurram Shahzad, thank you. And Hunain Azhar. Thank you so very much for joining me today at Exploring with IUX. And Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz. It was a pleasure, man.
And that leaves me just to all say goodbye, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this session on the scope of freelancing in Pakistan. Until next week, when we'll have another session. Khuda Hafiz. Bye-bye.